phone. Hold the phone.
What?
Hold the phone.
I'm holding. Oh, you're not in yet?
I'm setting up my computer real quick.
We got spectator.
Hey, Smite, what are you doing right now? There you go. Come on, you can do it. Alright.
Alright, you in a game?
Yes.
Fantastic. Alright, so, we're in a game. Below at the bottom left, you see the little timer.
Yep.
Zero, it's counting. Hit the spinny circle arrow, little bastards.
Oh, okay.
That's the sync button. And what it'll do is it'll sync you up with my time.
Oh, okay. So, what are you at right now?
11, 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm at too.
Or now it says negative 128, 127, 126, because it just swapped that. All right. Why are the bands on here? The bands were on another game I selected. Damn it. I wonder if they had an issue. Anyway, there was an early game pause, so I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk about things. So on the left-hand side, we have Dignitas, and on the right-hand side, on the red team, we have Denial NA. Over on the left-hand side, for Dignitas, we have Anatoly on the Loki. Interesting pickup there. It looks like he's probably going to be going solo lane with that Loki. Is that what? Yes, he is definitely their solo lane player. You have Lassus in jungle, of course. Then we have our... the best mid. Glad to see the best is back and not taking tests. Zapman on Apollo. And finally, Shadow Q on the Hercules, coming out of the pool. Who is on Denial's side of for us, Mr. Bonus?
We have Pain Divady. I don't even know how to say
Pain Divion.
Playing Neath, we have Pon Pon looking to play Jungle Freya. That is... You don't see that often in ranked anymore, do you?
No, I don't play much ranked.
Rushed on Hell. And then we have Mace to the Face on Ao Kwong, probably going mid. And then we have good old Jeff Hinla playing Bacchus for Denial.
All the gold skins. It looks like they were looking for a slight invade there. They went all the way around the enemy teams. They kind of did a ring around the rosy there in the jungle. And now they have pushed them out to the one side. So it looks like everybody's going to kind of stick to their own sides, take their buffs, and begin the laning phase correctly. What do you think of these team comps?
Well...
Since we didn't get our normal... We don't have our normal, like, setup time with the you know... With the picks and bans, so go ahead.
I really think that they're going to have to keep Hercules under control. He is very, very strong now. The best thing to do is just keep him underfed, you know. And on the other team, like with... See, I don't know many Hell players, and Rush playing Hell, I think that's going to be an interesting, you know... It's just going to be an interesting comp to see how they incorporate Hell into this, so...
No, we do have first blood over here on the left side. Pon Pon and them take out Zapman early after an early invade. Looks like they're going to be chasing down this Hercules. If they can do that, they can try and keep him down. Just driving strike on out of there. But Hell will go down in the left lane, or sorry, in the jungle over there as we missed that particular engagement too. Everybody's playing in the jungle. It's 1-1 now in this early game. Keep in mind this is a scrim. This is not any type of, you know, competitive speaking game. So I'm sure they're trying out new and different things. So... This is not a pure game.
Looks like Loki in the right lane is actually getting pretty far ahead of Hell, though. Here we go with that pause.
Yeah. So now that we have this pause right here, let's take this time to discuss things. So, based on what Loki picked up, Heartseeker level 1, Hog, and Blink, do you agree with that?
I do agree. Loki does have to get that Heartseeker up pretty fast to make an early game statement, if you know what I'm saying. He's going to be burning down people pretty quickly. That Blink is going to allow him to, you know, get into the fight and, you know, get out of the fight fairly quickly and unscathed. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a tough, like, I don't know, it's just going to be tough for, like, Denial to just control him. Loki's very slippery now.
Yeah, I do believe that he will be building into a Fist of the Gods there for that extra stun time.
Yeah,
he gets into team fights and stuff like that.
With the stun, he's just gonna be very hard to control. You need to burst him down quickly. Yeah. And it looks like Pain is also picking up that Heartseeker. And I've been told that Neath is becoming not so viable anymore.
How so?
I don't know, just late game. Late game, she seems to fall off because she really can't make the most of her weaves anymore.
I mean, her main utility is that ultimate, which is such a global presence, and it's really good for the early game because once she hits 5, she can really be annoying all over the map. And she can help secure kills or track anybody down, stuff like that. It's just a matter of that they have to get the vision on them, and if they ward properly, then that could be very easy.
It's also a great initiation.
It is a great initiation, especially when you want to, like those solo lane. When these teams will expect to see plenty of the, say, you want Bacchus flops in, the Neath ult comes out immediately after that, then the Bacchus ult, then Freya comes in there with her own ultimate, and they just burn somebody down super fast. So I find it interesting that they have Hercules over here supporting Apollo and Loki in that lane. So we already start off with an interesting composition, as they don't have a standard tank. They're not like going with an Athena or a Sobek, which I'm presuming they were probably banned. Or even after that, they didn't pick up Hades or Ymir. I mean, what do you think of Ymir in competitive play? Jesus Christ, the pings.
Ymir is... he has no escape. See, with Ymir, he could be laning with someone, and oftentimes you can find the 2 players on the other team just targeting Ymir since he has no escape. I mean, once you use all of Ymir's abilities, you have nothing left. You just have to run away. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, without a blink, without, something, you're going to be targeted pretty much early game, and that's the reason why most competitive players don't pick Ymir.
Fair enough. Bamf. Ha ha!
But I am curious to see how they do play this out with no tank, though. It's going to be interesting late game.
I do agree.
You're still paused, right?
Yeah, I am. It's going. Or it's not going yet. It's still, the time's still ticking along.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just making us a little thing here in the bottom corner for what we are. Yeah.
What do you think about Watcher's Gift?
Watcher's Gift
you can see Shadow Q and Jeff Hinla pick them both up.
There we go. Watcher's Gift can be very good at getting that farm early, especially in these high-level games where you have that consistent last hitting. It's not such a good pickup in the low-level games, or when you can't depend on your carry to do their job, basically, and last hit.
Right.
But it does give a slight health bonus, as you see there. It gives you 100 health, 10 MP5, or 10 HP5, and 5 MP5. So that's also good as a support, because that is very useful.
Honestly, it is. I mean, there's a lot of pressure taken off, when you actually have Watcher's Gift. You don't have to worry about last hitting and stuff like you said. But as you can see, Shadow Q has also bought that early game ward. Now, this leads me into another question. What is your take on Eye of Providence?
I love it. Greatest object ever. Every support should get it. Holy crap, we're live.
Oh, yep,
there we go. I was at 4 times speed trying to get through that pause. So, Eye of Providence is a great pickup because it allows you to throw down those wards. When you get to level 3 of Eye of Providence, you can see through walls, so you can put it behind a Gold Fury wall and be able to see the Gold Fury whenever they may initiate on it. As we see over here in the right lane, and Atoll is going to be jumping on top of the Hell, going from invisible to very, very visible as he stabs her a few times, and then we'll be getting on out. And then clearing up that wave using that decoy as best he can. And then going invisible, turning right around, throwing his decoy out, jumping on top of Hell yet again, doing a lot of damage there. Hell getting off her own poke damage, but she will be able to heal that off and kind of shrug it away while not letting too many creeps go into the tower, so she's not going to lose a whole lot of farm. See, this would be one of those times, like, I would go into that kind of long spiel, and then you could jump in with any thoughts about that.
Yeah, and looks like Hell's really gonna run out of mana here soon. Does she have any? I mean, she does have 1 pot, but looks like Loki will be, I don't know, basically out-sustaining her because he does have 3 mana pots. So, I mean, looking into the jungle now, he's heading to mid. Ice is backing, looks like he's gonna pick up these mid camps here. Oh, Bacchus comes in.
Yeah.
Gonna try to seal those.
They tried to. They pushed out the. They pushed out Fenrir, but there was a very, very well placed Spirit Ball that was zoning them out. They were just like, we won't go after that. So over in the left lane, it looks like the AD carries here are just going to be allowed to poke each other down infinitely, as Neith is doing a little bit more damage than Zapman, it seems to be. So we'll see how Pain Divion can handle the Apollo by herself, using her Spirit Weaves to the best of her abilities, rooting down those minions and continuing on. Fenrir might be coming over here for a gank. He's going to be coming in from behind. They don't have any wards to be able to smell this out. Loki going to be jumping in, using the moves, and then it looks like Pain will be going down. Oh my goodness, he dodges it. Oh, amazing moves there. Nice juking, but he's not going to make it out of this. There you go. He's
going to fall to the Hercules.
But Freya could come in here and get a second kill. They could be able to pick up Zapman, but he instead is going to land a kill on top of... Oh my god, the damage. They are able to take out the Fenrir, but Pon will go down from that damage, and all three of them. The Neith ultimate coming out on top of the Hercules, and we'll be able to pick him up. Very nice play there by Denial. So it's currently 3-3. There comes a hog, a belch on top of Apollo. There's the belly flop. Will he be able to clean this up? One more hit there. He will. Zapman goes down. So 4-3 in favor of Denial. And a very nice play by these guys. Good rotations from Jepinla there. And on the supporty side over here, it looks like Loki attempted to ult. Maybe he blinked in front of her on top of that hell, but is not able to quite clean that up. Does lay down a ton of pain on her, and will be forced to back off some. Hell kind of throwing down that... God, what is her 3? I can't think of what her 3 is.
It's, I don't even remember now. I haven't played Hell in so long.
I keep wanting to call it Disperse. It's we'll get it, whatever.
It's dis something.
Yeah, and then look, there goes Hell healing all that off, but she is quite a bit out of mana right now. She really could use that blue buff. Loki looks like he totally whiffed that hog there. It does appear.
Yeah, I saw that, and it did not hit at all, but
yes, it did
maybe
not
it was
hit
for
thing.
intimidation.
We have some counter jungling over here by the Fenrir, going a little bit hard to the paint, but will Pon be able to do anything? No, instead it looks like he might go down as he jumps up. Bacchus gets slain. Freya up in the air, but she will get picked off by Lassus as he comes out of his ult, or as she drops out of her ult, he lands his ultimate, and it looks like Ao Kuang may be in big trouble here.
1 HP.
Oh, Hell coming in here. Will she be able to clean this up? She is able to pick up the Lassus and going to try and land any pain she can onto the rest of them. But Loki jumps in, does his ultimate on top of the Ao Kuang, and gets the kill, but the Tornado's going to take the damage down. It's a 1-for-1 trade for each of them as they kill each other. Very well played. As the minions are going to be in here in the jungle fighting each other, it's always such an awesome thing to see these minions doing their job, taking the jungle from you. That way you may not get that experience from the minions or the jungle.
Yes, you saw. Did you see that Loki back off and just enter the whole battle again?
Yep. And oh, they're not able to capitalize on top of the Neith ultimate that came down on the Isis. Freya was chasing it, but Hercules comes on in there and is able to push them back. One thing I try to do as a caster is I try to stay facing the way you would be in the game. You have the blue side your back.
Yep.
Just so it makes it easier when I say left and right lane, we're all oriented in the same direction. Because I hate it when you're on when the casters are turned upside down, I guess, as I would say. They're looking from the red side and they're in the right lane and wait, what? Oh, right. Different side. Haha, we're turned around. It's just something I like to do to try and keep the viewers oriented as well as myself. So, continuing on. Lots of action in this game thus far. It looks like we're going to have a gank over here in the left lane. We can see Apollo trying to get as close as he can to Neith as he can, but Hercules is going to be coming back into the lane, going to support him up. Bacchus coming around from the side. Is there a ward available to tell them that Bacchus is in fact getting nearby? Does not look that way, but thus far, Neith and Apollo just trading away. There goes the Belch coming out from the Bacchus, but it will not land a stun.
And right lane, you could see Hell is getting ganked. Fenrir does fall, but Hell does end up falling as well. I don't know who got that kill. I think it was the Loki, but
I do believe it was.
He's just going to continue farming.
Yep. Any interesting item pickups you see thus far? We got a Breastplate of Valor on the Ao Kuang, which seems a little bit odd. And looks like Denial NA is able to secure the Gold Fury. I don't think there was a steal involved. But, ooh, nice root from the Neith on top of that. Hercules landing any pain she can on there, but Bacchus will fall. Looks like they had a little bit of a slight miscommunication as Apollo will just recall on out of there from deep in enemy territory. So maybe a slight bit of lack of vision there is what I would blame on that one. They didn't have enough wards on the map to keep track of the enemy team as best it could. So,
You know, I am seeing a pretty unusual pick. I am seeing. One sec. I am seeing the Shoes of Focus on Freya. Usually you want to build pure magic damage. I don't really know how that one's gonna go. I never thought about it. How do you feel about it on Ponpon?
I think because she's jungling, she wants to have her abilities on cooldown as fast as possible. She wants to be able to get her 1, 2, 3, have as many combos as she can. Oh, she's going to be able to pick up Lassus over there in the right jungle next to those camps. She didn't get the camps, but she got the man. So that is all that is required there. Bacchus going pretty deep, not going to engage over here in the left jungle. But I think that it's a good pickup. If she can consistently if she can build the rest of her damage, then it'll be a worthy trade. But is she going to be able to pick up the Loki here? She's getting dangerously low. Loki already using her ultimate on top of Freya, and it looks like Freya will be able to get out of here okay. Bacchus coming over to support as well as Hell. Bacchus jumping and belly flopping and not seeing that Loki is in fact behind him because he is invisible. So Hell going to use her blink in a very useful fashion. There comes up, heals the Freya, and is going to go back over to her lane to secure that. So Freya being a little bit dangerous here, not going back just yet. He's going to go heal off the minions in the jungle. And that's that. Over in the left lane. Thief getting jumped on. Looks like she will be able to make it out of there okay. Ao Kuang coming in to support. Blink from the Ao Kuang in there. Tries to land that Squall, but is unable to as the minion takes it for Zapman. Bacchus could get in a pinch here.
1 second.
Ooh, the stun coming out. Bacchus getting pulled. Is he going to get taken out? He used the meditation on top of himself so he can continue to have more mana, but he needs to get over to the Isis. Oh, nice jump by the Bacchus to get on out of there. And Freya going to come in here and try and clean up the best, and he will be able to wrap that up as Lassus comes in with his Fenrir going to clean up the Ponpon. And then finally the ultimate comes out from the Isis trying to do, or sorry, not the Isis, the Ao Kuang. And it looks like the Pain Divion will go down finally. And was that that's Loki trying to ult in on the Ao Kuang, trying to chase him under tower, going really deep. Ao Kuang is in dangerous territory here. Is he going to get shot? Ow, Anatoly going hard to the paint, gets the kill, but it looks like he will go down to that Phoenix. And the Phoenix does pick up the kill, literally. So fancy that.
Well, Loki really did want to secure that kill.
Dignitas up 14-10 at 10 minutes into this game. They're up by about 1,000 gold. Let's have a look at our goal difference here. You can see it's been going back and forth. God, the plays never stop. This is the most exciting game ever.
Apollo, but Neath was also ulting Apollo, which it would have been a secured kill anyway.
It would be. What do you think of?
My health plates are down. Do you know how to get those back up?
O, I believe. Yeah. Hit O.
Right, thank you.
O gets rid of the health bars. P gets rid of the whole UI, and I can't remember if there anything else did anything specific, but I know O and P because you do a lot of that when you're doing some video recording.
Right. I see Jeff Hinla picking up an early game Witchstone. How do you feel about that?
Early game Witchstone.
It's not something you see every day, huh?
No, I mean it gives you the physical protection, the movement speed, and attack speed, and it's. He's not really a, whack-em, rock-em, sock-em robot kind of guy, so I'm a little unsure of it at the moment as Ponpon goes into his ultimate to clean up the best, and he will be able to successfully do so. Loki coming in there using the blink to get under tower, but he's in a dangerous spot. He's taking a couple tower shots. Bacchus flopping on over there, going to land the... Ooh, using his ultimate in defensive fashion to get on out of there, but Hell is not done yet. She's going to keep chasing him. Will she be able to land any more damage? No, not quite, as the engagement continues on into the jungle. Everybody doing all that they can. The tornado's going down, the heal's coming out, and that looks like it's going to be about that for the engagement. Is Rushed going to keep chasing, but he could land himself some really hot water. Freya coming in there to make sure she gets out safely. I don't know. What do you think of the Witchstone?
I think it can actually be very, very viable, especially since you've seen so many encounters already. But what I'm really interested is blink on Hell. As you saw, Loki was running away. He used his ultimate to run away, and then you just saw Hell blink right next to him, do some more damage. So you're gonna have to watch out for that.
Mm-hmm. I actually, thinking about it a little bit more, it gives you physical protection, movement speed, and attack speed. I don't think he's really interested in it, obviously, for the attack speed, because, I mean, he's Bacchus. But the movement speed...
I think he's more interested in the aura.
The aura, the attack speed slow for everyone else, the movement speed for him, and the physical protection for him. I think it's actually a very valid pickup. I mean, it's not like a lot of different items where it's got to be every particular part of it specifically spells out to your support or role. So it's a very interesting pickup that, you know, it's mostly for you, you know, just a little bit, kind of not really. For you, but... And here's Lassus going pretty hard. They're going to jump on top of the Bacchus. It looks like he landed on top of the Freya, or he wanted to land on top of Freya, but was unable to do so. Loki jumping on in there, using his ultimate on top of Freya, but Freya's going to be able to get back here as she goes up into her ultimate. There comes the ultimate from Neath on top of Lassus. He's going to get stunned. Freya comes in there, heals that, and going to be able to pick that one up. There comes the Ao Kuang ultimate, landing a lot of damage, but the Excavate comes out from Hercules, getting a kill on Ao Kuang. Are they going to be able to clean this up? Hercules in a dangerous spot. He will fall. Will Freya fall? Yes, she will, but Isis might not be able to make it out of this alive. There is a Hell and a Bacchus after her. They have a great amount of CC to keep her slowed and still, but she's going to go into her own ultimate to try and heal herself up before this engagement continues. Neath coming on over there. She's rotated all the way over from that lane, and the Isis smelled that out, used her stun ball to try and stun it out, but she's going to fall. Whew. My God, this game.
If you saw at the start of that, Lassus, who is Fenrir, actually used his ult fairly early, and the duration of his ult actually ran out before the team fight actually began.
Mm-hmm. I think he was using it in a defensive style, because I think he was more worried about getting caught. And Zatman will pay for his transgressions on that tower in the left lane, as he will follow the Bacchus and Neath combination as they showed up just in time to kill him before his chariot arrived to whisk him away for pizza.
Whisk him away for pizza.
Yes, because whenever you get whisked away on the chariot, it's always for pizza. Hell, in a dangerous spot here. There is a Lassus. There is a Loki. It looks like that Fist of the Gods wasn't quite what Lassus had in order. He tried to do the Brutalize, but missed. I think he wasn't expecting the stun. Will Hell be able to get out of this one okay? She is able to pick up and now Kwang gonna try and pick up the Loki, but will be unable to do so as Loki does go into his hidey hole of darkness and able to walk away from that one with just a skosh of health left. Whew.
Now we see that Hell has picked up Doom Orb and also Breastplate of Valor, so you're going to see those moves coming out pretty fast from Hell. Looks like Denial has got the Gold Fury under control and are returning back to lane now.
Yep, we can see Hindless here is going to be taking these mid camps for himself. Probably going to use that Hand of the Gods in just a second to clean it on up, get a little bit of damage out onto him. He might just opt to beat him to death because, I mean, nobody's contesting him for it.
That attack speed, right?
That attack speed, that is obviously why he picked it up, and it looks like he's going to be using the Hand of the Gods in just a second. Oh, nope, Freya comes in there and one-shots them. Because Freya, OP! Just the way it needs to be. So, looking at the items here, you got Zatman with the Executioner, Heartseeker, and Warrior Tabbies, of course. Pretty standard build for the Apollo. Actually, like, extremely standard, depending on your situations. But Voidblade out on the Fenrir, very standard for the jungler there. The Sovereignty on Shadow Q. He's not building any kind of damage. He definitely wants to be a support Hercules. So I think Sovereignty is a great pickup there. And, you know, Focus Voidstone on the Isis. So I'd say just pretty standard play all around. I like the Creeping Curse on Hercules, maybe able to slow them down and then pull them back. Although he is going to be in a little bit of trouble there, standing in a tornado. He wants to make sure his hair is nicely whipped atop his head. Got 3 in mid lane here. 3 on 3 in mid lane. Lassus looking for a jump on into the mid lane for that opportunity to arise. Will he take it? Not quite yet. He is going to just play it safe and stay out of vision. Maybe waiting. Oh, he does blink in. Jumps on in. He uses his Ragnarok. Picks up Ao Kuang, but Ao Kuang uses beads to get out of it immediately. And Lassus will start going backwards, but he instead gets hit by a Neath ultimate, and they are unable to capitalize on that as they're not quite prepared. Hell backing off a little bit there from the right side jungle. She was thinking about coming in, but Fenrir was already over there as well as a couple of other Dignitas. So, generally speaking, very exciting game right now. It's 18-17 in favor of Dignitas. The gold difference is minimal. It's about 1,000 gold. Bacchus flopping in there in the middle. Going to land a stun on top of the Fenrir. Not quite, but he's able to land it on the Hercules. There comes Freya up into her ultimate. Is she able to pick him up? Yes, she lands the kill on top of the Fenrir. Is she going to... Isis getting the ball stunned down on the Bacchus. This Bacchus is going to be able to make it out alive. The Excavate hits him, but it's not quite enough to kill him, so he is able to make it out. Pawn in a dangerous spot, but the Spirit's Tempest comes out and hits, but doesn't do enough damage to really get anyone low. And they will disengage, getting a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Denial, so they bring it 18-18.
Now, I do think that these team fights would go in favor of Dignitas if Mace could actually hit his ult. I haven't seen him hit one ult yet.
They have been rather messy thus far.
The Alfong ult is such a game changer.
It is. It's gonna be really key when it comes to the late game and these team fights group up really bad. I think, is it a fair thing to say? I mean, I could be completely talking out of my ass. That's why I love doing this in practice. Is it a fair thing to say that Ao Kuang could be a counter to ISIS because he's going to deny the people wanting to stand in the ISIS's ultimate heal with the tornadoes, and then if they do all start to group up in there, Spirit's Tempest is going to just bowling ball them all out and negate all the healing that they just got. So I mean, it can make it a very dangerous situation for them to use ISIS's ultimate as a heal.
Yes, very much. I have to agree with you 100% on that. I would be very scared to stand in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an Ao Kuang just standing there waiting, and you're like, yeah, his ult's up, and there's an ISIS ult that I want to be in, but where's the dragon? There comes the Bacchus going into his ultimate, picking up the Fenrir, picking up the Bacchus, and then he's going to be using his Ragnarok to get on out of there. Or, sorry. Ooh, one more shot. There it is. 2 ultimates being used on that one. Apollo comes in just in the nick of time to try and get any damage as he can, but the Fist of the Gods will come out, stunning him. Isis going to come out. Loki's showing up at the right time. Ponpon's going to go down. Oh my god, not quite yet. Ponpon's still alive. The Isis ultimate used to secure the Freya in the death of herself, but the tornado's coming down now. Will Bacchus be able to make it out of there alive? Beautiful. That was a jump that he... Oh my god, Bacchus just dies, barely. I thought he was going to make it out of there. But will Apollo go? Will Apollo fall? This is so exciting. Neath back flipping. Oh, hell, chasing after, and Rushed able to land the kill on Zapman over there in the jungle. God, this game is so close. This is so exciting. Rush going really hard to the paint. He's going after that Isis, barely missing not the excavate. Earthbreaker from the Hercules, almost getting pulled back, using that Fist of the Gods, but it didn't stun. Was that Fist of the Gods or Hand of the Gods? That was Hand. Sorry.
That was Hand, yeah.
Yeah, I think they need a slightly different... I have to see the Fist of the Gods animation to make sure that it's an obvious difference. Because currently the Hand of the Gods is still a fist that comes smashing down on you.
If the best would have used his ulti to secure that kill on Ponpon, I best believe you, they honestly would have won that team fight. That Freya was doing so much damage to Dig, and while Freya was up with like 5% health and just throwing out auto attacks after auto attacks, so if that secured, like if Isis's ult would have secured the kill earlier, then the team fight might have won a different way. And here we go again with another battle.
These guys just love to face off in the middle lane. Neath backflipping out of there. Loki barely getting out with that blink, that combat blink coming up just in time, as he's going to use that to get on out of that death from Freya. And there they go, putting a lot of damage on top of Hell. Isis doing a lot of work there. They're going to try and keep this way back, keep their tower alive, etc., etc. So I have in the chat, how do you see Isis as a hard counter to Hell, specifically? I mean, sorry, Isis is a hard counter to Ao Kuang. Why? I still vote the other way. I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, Isis can do her wing buffet, and then Ao Kuang can put his tornadoes down. How is it a hard counter? Go ahead, Bonus.
You can see Shadow Q, the Hercules, has picked up Tier 3 Weakening Curse.
Mm-hmm.
That'll reduce their healing by 100%, so that's going to be pretty crucial in the team fights.
Yep, we might see it in action here as they are going to try and contest this Gold Fury.
Actually...
Is he going to use it? That is the question. There goes out the Excavate. Lands a good bit of damage, but isn't quite enough. There goes the Tornado. Where's that Squall? That Gold Fury's still not done. There it is. Dial and a steals, secures, I guess, depending on who you want to say started the fight. That Gold Fury in favor of themselves. The last is going to clean up the Neath. And it looks like, are they going to be able to clean up any more? Thus far, it's 2-for-0 in favor of Dignitas. They're going to be able to clean up Jeff Henla. Oh my god, yes they are. And Hell is going to be going down here in just a second if she can't get on out of this. Isis using her silence to make sure that he doesn't go too far. So that's a 4-for-none trade in favor of Dignitas. Are they going to take this mid tower and do a Fire Giant, or are they going to continue to push down towers? Looks like they're going to rotate on over to the Fire Giant.
If I were them, I would get Fire Giant. It's such a crucial buff to have, especially this early into the game.
Yeah, she can hit her 2-3 combo.
Does Ao Kwong have Hand of the Gods to maybe contest this? No, I think
It's going to be gone by the time he gets there. Oh, a Fist of the God a little early. Or Hand of God a little bit early on that, but they are able to secure it, and they jump right on top of the Ao Kwong. He is going to use his Spirit's Tempest to try and get them off, but it will be unsuccessful as Anatoly will make it out of there with just the skosh of health. Yes, Zatman able to take out Mace to the face, though. And then Ao Kwong falls. Loki fell to Frey out there, getting all backwards. And this is why this is practice. And I'm getting turned around here myself.
Did you see that Hand of the God, or no, I'm sorry, it was the Fist by Freya right there. Almost killed Fenrir in the tower. He took I think he took 1 tower shot, and that put him at about 1 HP.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, but now he's back in the jungle gaining that health back, so he's going to be ready to fight.
In just a minute. Anything interesting in the item pickups that you happen to notice?
You do see Ao Kwong going for Polynomicon. That's going to make him a threat, even though his abilities might be on cooldown. Besides that, I really don't see anything too wild. Looks all standard to me, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good buff for the people, because it gives you that, as it states here, Polynomicon, with the 20+ magical power and 10% magical lifesteal to all allies that are, of course, magical within 70 feet. So it's a very large radius, and it's very good for these guys to, a lot of these damage dealers are, of course, magical. Freya doing a ton of damage, Hell being able to do a ton of healing and damage, and it helps everyone in a team fight do that much more. And so it encourages them to group up.
You see that Freya has also picked up Pythagorean's Piece. Now does that stack with the Polynomicon? Or...
I'm sorry, Pythagorean, yeah, you're talking about Ao Kwong got the Polynomicon. Excuse me, I was talking about the wrong item.
Yeah, yes. I was like, did that
I don't see why it wouldn't. That's a good question, though. I would want to find out if that, in fact, does stack. Ao Kwong barely getting on out of there. And Isis using her ultimate to zone them out to hopefully keep them back. And Isis got lifted up by that bandage from Freya, and they are going to be able to pick up Pon. Will they be able to clean up anyone else? And they are able to get up the Hell. Looking pretty grim right now for the guys at Denial, 29-23 at 25 minutes. And they just keep falling, keep getting picked off in these team fights. Like they're having a very difficult time grouping up. There goes Lassus going in there right after the Pain de Vions. There it is. It looks like Lassus will fall, getting a little too squirrely, and ended up paying for it with his life.
Yeah, as you can see, that Dignitas is always grouped, especially this late into the game now. You can see that Denial just keeps going by themselves. Look at Apollo in the right lane. I mean, he does have his ult, but stuff like that, that's the change in order for Denial to come back into this game.
Yeah, I think Apollo's doing his split-pushing job as best he can, even though Box is over here just threatening him with his surly looks and beard. Ooh, he cancels out that belch very quickly, but Pain de Vion will be coming over the Landstop route on top of the Zatman, and there's 3-on-1 over here in the right lane. Will they be able to get a kill? Taking a lot of damage from that. There comes the Ao Kwong. Oh my god, the ult lands, killing Zatman. Beautiful play there by Mace to the face.
That would be a very, very nice rewind right there.
I agree. Oh,
see,
looks like he didn't go far enough. Or did it? Question is, did he go far enough or too far? Yeah, he's still dead, so it was not far enough. But that's alright. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
We'll practice more.
Yes, we will. What is your take on hi-rez Laminate? You could see Anatoly picking that up.
hi-rez Lament.
Yep.
Cooldown reductions. Very useful. It's something I've heard a lot of people picking up on the Loki. They are able to reset that. Dignitas doing a good job there, pushing them back far enough to where it wasn't worth keeping on. But the ultimate being used as initiation by that knee. Almost able to pick off there it is. Pon gets up there, slays the best as best he can. The belly flop coming in there. That Spirit Tempest going doing a lot of damage. Hercules is going to go down right now due to that hell. That is currently a 3 for none trade, or sorry, a 2 for none trade as Apollo does come back alive. They're going to turn this into a Fire Giant or a tower push. Looks like they're going to want to take this mid tower because Fire Giant is currently 8 seconds until it comes back up. Although they do have 50 seconds until the two people from the Dignitas come back up. So they could turn this into a mid tower and a Fire Giant. Looks like they want to go straight for that second tower. Letting those minions or Bacchus tank that. Nope, minions.
Is doing his pushing job.
Yes, he is going to push on. Are they going to be? Is this going to be a Phoenix? They're all 5 in the mid lane. This will mean a Phoenix for Denial and A. They're going hard to the paint. Are they going to go straight to the Minotaur, or will they opt to back off? Very nice play. That 2 for none trade in that Gold Fury causes Dignitas to lose a Phoenix after not losing a single tower in the mid lane.
Yes, and the next team fight is definitely going to lead to a Fire Giant. I know that, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be our winner of the game.
I do agree. They're going to be getting a free Gold Fury. Oh, Apollo able to get this right lane down, but Hell coming in there doing a good bit of damage, dodging all around, and Apollo trying to do what he can to kill her, but it looks like Rush doing a great job zoning him out and taking a lot of damage. Ooh! Hell almost gets the kill. Apollo going up into his ultimate and barely makes it away from Hell. Very nice play by Rush, forcing Zapman to leave. And it looks like over here in the left lane, they're going to be going back to chase down their minions and push that tower on up. But look at the graphs. If you hit F3, you'll bring up the graph chart, and you'll see that currently Denial is up by 3,000 gold, but still 2,200 experience down. So an interesting swing. How are they going to turn this into their favor, get a little bit more itemization, and hopefully push that into the victory?
Denial just has to look for team fights right now. They just have to play it very smart. Everyone is off, you know, alone. Fenrir's out there alone with 2 or 3 players coming straight from, you know, their base just to gank him right now. He needs to be very careful because this lane to the game, you cannot be dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It looks like he's trying to escape right now. He uses his blink. Will he get away? That is the question.
That is the question. He does take a tornado and slowing him down. He does go into his ultimate so he can make sure he gets away. Because what they do not need right now is to lose a person and then give away a free Fire Giant. If they go one man down, Denial will force a Fire Giant fight, and they will have no choice but to respond to it as their middle Phoenix is down. They're already playing from behind in that regard. They're even playing from behind in gold, so they have to kind of rally themselves to, you know, really be able to take a team fight, secure another Fire Giant for themselves, and it looks like they're going to be coming from the backside here on this, but they do see it. Freya getting a couple up in the top of a banish. They are going to collapse over here on top of this, and they will be able to get out all right. The Isis Stun lands on top of the Ao Kuang, but that will be about it. They're forced to disengage. Dignitas breaking on up there, trying to defend their tower. 3 in the mid, 2 in the right lane, but all 5 of Denial over here in the right lane. They're going to take this tower really quick, and there's nothing that Dignitas can do about it because they are far too spread out. Free tower for them, increasing their gold lead. Yet another 2k gold, up to 4,000 gold now, and is this going to be a Fire Giant attempt here? We will find out in just a second. They're going to be wanting to place their wards, clear out any wards. They are going to be starting a Fire Giant. Is this a bait, or are they going to try and take it faster than Dignitas can respond? Here it goes. It's so low at the moment. All it needs is a hand of God. There it is. Denial and A secures the Fire Giant, leading them even farther. Are they going to be able to stay root the Isis onto the ground? It looks like she is going to be going down, going into her ultimate. She gets a little bit of health back, but will fall in the end. Hercules in a dangerous spot here, but it looks like Fenrir is even in a more dangerous spot as he gets fisted the gods to the ground, using his own to try and get out of there, going backwards to try and take the team away from him, but it ends up not working for his advantage because the excavate came out from Hercules and hit nobody because they were chasing after Fenrir back in the area. The blink coming out from the Ao Kuang is, are they going to be able to land a squall on top of him to slow him down? The bandage comes out. Hercules is going to die for this. He got banished up in the air. The stun coming out now from the Bacchus, and he will fall. That is a 3 for 0 trade with a Fire Giant securing by Denial NA. I think this is the game. Do you have any opinions on that, sir?
Just very, very well played by Denial, securing that Fire Giant so fast. Did you see the damage that the output on that? That was insane. Then just picking people off one by one. Just overall great plays by Denial.
There's the Dia side, and there's the victory for Denial NA. as they take it 1 game over Dignitas in very, very interesting fashion. It looked like they were behind a little bit from there. Where do you think that Dignitas went wrong here, and like kind of lost it? Was it they kept getting picked off and getting out strategized? I guess would be the best way of putting it. Where it was, they kept getting picked off in awkward situations.
Yeah, I believe that they were, there were people always grouped up at the same time, but everybody else was spread out doing their own thing. They were pretty late reacting to Fire Giants and Gold Furies. They were outwarded. That's a huge issue.
Yeah.
But they were just outplayed that game.
So looking at the stats here now, you can see that definitely Hell doing her job, going 11-5, very well played by that Hell. Looking at her build, I was trying to play to mimic Rush's, not Rush, but actually I was looking to mimic Omega's Hell build. But it's interesting to see Rush playing her, and I like it. It's got he started off with the Vampiric Shroud, moved into the Reinforced Boots, then into the Doom Orb, Breastplate of Valor, Focus Void Stone, and then finally into the Gem of Isolation. So I wonder what he would have picked up as his last item, but obviously unnecessary at this point. He did a great job, and well played by Dignitas and Denial. I enjoyed casting that. What about you?
I enjoyed casting that as well, and you can actually see that Dignitas did have a lot of physical damage. So
they did.
Building Sovereignty and Wall of Absolution and Breastplate of Valor, I mean,
it mitigated a ton of damage.
Dignitas could do. I mean, there's nothing Dignitas could do.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. So I would like opinions from the viewing audience. What do you guys think of our casting? Of course, I'm doing this for practice, trying to improve. So I want your feedback. I want to know what we did good, what we did wrong. I mean, I know I kind of talked over him some there, and I'm